Number one, Jenny Marcroft.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and asks, how does the result of the recent US election affect New Zealand?
Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Speaker, the result of every US presidential election, as in the last 100 years, has had and will have a significant impact on New Zealand, our region and indeed the world. Donald Trump's election as the United States 47th President will be no exception. We congratulate President Trump and J.D. Vance on their election victory, and we look forward to working with them and their incoming administration. But also we acknowledge the contribution of outgoing President Joe Biden and his administration towards relations between New Zealand and the United States. The United States is one of New Zealand's closest and most important partners, and we plan to further enhance our relationship with the US and the American people over the next 4 years.
Supplementary. How does New Zealand intend to engage with the second Trump administration?
Mr Speaker, we are ready and have hit the ground running with the incoming Trump administration. This was a decision for the American people, not for us, but we have prepared for President Trump's re-election. That preparation has included ensuring we have the right people working on the New Zealand-US relationship in Washington, D.C., around the United States and back here in New Zealand.
Supplementary. How does New Zealand think the world will change in policy terms under a new administration?
As it happens, after any change of leadership, President Trump will no doubt pursue his own policy agenda. But it's important to note that President Trump will not take effect in terms of the office being sworn in until January 2025. Over the next 2.5 months, until President Trump's inauguration, the New Zealand government will be working hard to better understand the incoming administration's policy agenda. We'll also be working on how we can best engage with the new administration on policy cooperation for the mutual benefit of both of our countries and our peoples.
Supplementary question, the Honourable David Parker.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Acknowledging the successful outcome for President Trump in the USA, does the Minister see any risk to Kiwi workers and our economy from the prospect of substantial tariffs, in addition to those the last Trump administration imposed on New Zealand's steel and aluminium exports, or from being, to use the Prime Minister's words, a force multiplier for the USA under Pillar 2 of AUKUS, which aims to contain China, our largest trading partner, which doesn't impose tariffs on New Zealand exporters, or from the increasing global temperatures, droughts and storm damage, which will result if the USA withdraws from climate action?
2 legs to the question.
As that member will know, we're about to re-engage with the administration, where we got right on the cusp of a free trade agreement, where he turned in front of the then Prime Minister, because of the work we'd done, and said to his team, well, why not? We missed a chance then. We don't intend to miss that chance this time.
Tiano.
Given President-elect Trump's position on foreign policy and human rights, will he commit to not joining AUKUS, and if not, why not?
The reality is that AUKUS is a work in progress with respect to Pillar 2, and that member's party was part and parcel of that arrangement, begun with a commission paper in September of 2021 under the then Labor government, a report in October 2021 on which we have worked in the same way ever since, with no changes at all, so much so that the former Defence Minister Andrew Little says that we have got it about right. What's that? What's that?
No, there's no response.
Adios, amigos.
Question.
What was that? What did you say?
So I didn't hear that. What did you say?
Do you want to put the water?
Point of order.
Point of order. Just hang on. Points of order heard in silence.
This is not the first time that I am subjected to this kind of pretty overt type of behaviour, and I take personal offence to what had just occurred. And note that it is incredibly unstatesmanlike from the Deputy Prime Minister, the Acting Prime Minister.
Speaking to point of order.
Cannot have these members.
Wait on.
We cannot.
Just keep everything quiet. Everyone hears points of order in silence.
We cannot have these members so sensitive. All I said was in Spanish was, goodbye, my friend. But he's offended by that. Now, for goodness sake, we have a very diverse parliament.
Order, Mr. Speaker.
When the House goes quiet, and let me assure people that although it's been 12 months that I've been in the chair nearly, and no one's been asked to leave the House, it's very close. Do not make it interjections or other reactions to points of order. Steve Abel.
In the context of the election result in the United States, which was heavily predicated on extreme actions against the Mexican people on the southern border of the United States, I think the comment by the Deputy Prime Minister is particularly pernicious.
Nothing of the sort was intended, nor, as the member would have found out if he had studied very closely the closing polls in the United States, did the Latino vote change, and rather it went the other way. It went towards Trump.
I think we'll just let that matter lie, but those sort of comments generally should be resisted. Debbie Nauru-Paka.
Kia ora, i te pika. How can the government go into a relationship with a president who has actively promoted and deliberately supported the genocide of a people in Palestine?
Mr. Speaker, could I say I have no intention. I have no intention of answering a question made so malignantly as that without any shred of evidence whatsoever. This country's foreign policy and our future economic well-being and Pacific well-being depends on better thinking than that.